Hey, what's up, Silver Stackers? Thank you so much for being here. This is Silver Slayer. When someone gets canceled, the term isn't meant literally, it's figuratively. For example, if a celebrity gets canceled, it means their fans have turned against them because they did something that they don't like. Maybe they messed up, maybe they said a statement, whatever. The US Mint essentially canceled themselves. Now, why? It's because of the extremely overpriced coins that are basically the bottom of the barrel. Nothing special about them. They used to be the cheapest, now they're the most expensive. And we see proof because numbers don't lie. Sales dropped 76% in June from last year. Silver down 69%, and that was from gold dropping 76%. Now, this is telling, but when I made this article, I was like, okay, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and say maybe just all silver demand is down. For all these mints, they're all seeing numbers similar to this. But my theory was that it's more so Eagles, people turning their back on Eagles, which were the most beloved coins because remember, January this year, they sold 5 million ounces. The first month, record-breaking sales. So in only a span of, 6-7 months, people have turned their back dramatically. But then the Perth Mint came out and said their numbers. And they said, sales are down, but it was nowhere near the US Mint. And actually, Perth Mint doubled the amount of sales in June this year than the US Mint did. But now we have even more news. And this is, I think, the most telling news. The British Royal Mint announced their sales. Now, the US Mint was down 69%, but the Royal Mint sees sales jump 47%. British Royal Mint sees sales increase 8% in the second quarter, and silver sales jump 47%. And the gold bullion is increasing 8%. Silver 47%. So what's going on? This confirms that it's not all mints that people are just, it's not all mints that have dropping percentages. It's only a few mints, and the biggest one is the US Mint. Now, this article is even more telling because they said that most of their demand is from American consumers. So people that would have been buying Eagles are switching to Britannias. The British Royal Mint is famously known for their Britannias. And I've even seen in the comments of my videos when I unbox Britannias, I've even when I had that starter kit deal, a Britannia was in there, and I would ask people, if you were to pick one of these coins, which one would you like? And most people said Britannias. Now, yes, they're a pretty standard coin, but they do have the new security feature. They are beautiful. I mean, they are probably one of the, if not a close second, probably the first most favorite coin from the silver community at this point in time. Now, I would love to ask you what you think about Britannias. Are you someone that has, that have helped these numbers? Were you someone that used to buy Eagles and now you buy Britannias? Or what's going on here? Now, that was in my last video, right? I covered these numbers in my last video. But I want to go over the US Mint. That's what this video is focused on, not the Royal Mint, the US Mint. Because if these numbers are correct, which they are a little odd in my opinion, something just doesn't add up to see a 47% increase from the Royal Mint, the British Royal Mint, to see that compared to the US Mint. I mean, yes, I know that premiums are high. I know people are starting to turn their backs, but I don't know. Something just seems a little off. But essentially, the US Mint did cancel themselves. And I don't think that they're going to be able to get out of this situation anytime soon. Just like when a celebrity gets canceled or a YouTuber gets canceled, sometimes they fall off the map for years. Sometimes they never really come back as big as they were before. The problem with the US Mint in this situation is, if you've ever watched any of my videos of why premiums are so high for them, and it's because they cannot pay above spot for their silver, where other mints can, because the US Mint has separate laws. Other mints are allowed to pay above spot price so they can get more silver. The US Mint gets most of their silver from Sunshine Mint, but Sunshine Mint, and since Sunshine Mint's one of the biggest suppliers to the US Mint, Sunshine Mint has no motivation to sell to the U.S. Mint because they have to sell them at spot. Why wouldn't, they're selling their own silver at way above spot, so why would they lose all that money, the profits, selling to the U.S. Mint? It would almost just be a favor for them. And since there is a favor going on, I mean, they have a long-lasting relationship. They do sell some, but obviously the Sunshine Mint would rather sell their own metal at way above spot. So the U.S. Mint's in a very sticky situation, and they do outsource their silver. They didn't used to. It used to be in-house. But nowadays, they have such a limited amount of workers and the equipment that they couldn't even in-source their own silver, even if they wanted to. And if you watched any of the videos that I've made covering this, it's a huge, huge situation. But regardless, and if you guys want to fact check me or anything, go watch those videos. When I do research, when I do my homework, I make sure the answers are correct. I broke down the entire legal thing with Congress. I showed the exact codes that they're in violation of, and what the secretary has to pay, and the LBMA. I covered it all. I broke it down so I can't even explain how deep I went into this situation. I'll link one of the videos, one of the more popular videos that I covered. But regardless, I don't want to cover all that. I just want to talk about the U.S. Mint basically canceling themselves, and it's not even their fault really. They didn't choose these laws. And one of the statements in the article was saying that the government would never even consider easing this up because they're trying to limit the interest rates on its own $30 trillion of debt. That's basically what the statement said. And then the guy goes on to say, well, as long as the paper market price versus the physical price is always going to stay separate, he doesn't see the situation with the U.S. Mint getting situated or figured out or resolved anytime soon, meaning that they're going to continue having a hard time finding physical silver, meaning premiums are going to stay high, meaning that these eagles are still going to be overpriced, and it's not just going to kind of fizzle out. That is what's scary. If it was just like a couple year thing, and this did start in 2020 when the U.S. Mint ran out of silver, blamed it on the global situation, which it probably was a little bit, but we have seen since around 2018, 2019, the U.S. Mint went from like 30, 40 million ounces per year to around 14 million ounces. Like within a year, it cut back more than half. They have to guesstimate the following year, and obviously they could not have known that there would be a global situation happening. So of course, if they're only producing around 14 million ounces in 2019, then 2020 all of a sudden that global situation hits and there's a huge demand, they're going to run out, and that's exactly what happened. So they made the 1 million mintage emergency supply from the San Francisco Mint. And then 2021, looks like they were still in hot water. They announced there is a silver shortage. They're having an extremely hard time. And then during that time, the Royal Mint and the Perth Mint also came out and said, yo, we're in this together. And that's what I thought was all of the mints. But then in 2022, once they said they're going to put a mintage cap on the Type 1 and Type 2 Eagles, and then shortly after announced that they're going to cancel the 2022 Morgan and Silver Peace dollars, that's when the whole legal situation with Congress came out. That's when everything got exposed. So I passed the question to you. Is the U.S. Mint shooting themselves in the foot? And what could they do to get out of this situation? Now, the funniest thing about the Royal Mint, they came out, I mean, all these other mints coming out just saying they're beat, their sales are down, but all of a sudden, this mint comes out and say, yo, we're doing amazing. And even right here, look, they say, we're famous in the UK for making coins and bars from precious metals and developed a strong international base of investors. It's encouraging to see such strong international sales, particularly from the US. We look forward to expanding globally, providing a range of products to appeal to investors. So it's so funny that that this article comes out from the US Mint The Purge Mint comes out, and then all of a sudden this mint comes out like, yo, we're killing it. We're expanding. Everything's Gucci. We're good. It's crazy. It's crazy. And I do think it would all be from Britannia's. I couldn't see another coin that would sell anywhere near as much silver as Britannia's would. I mean, the British Royal Mint, that's their coin basically, to my knowledge at least. So anyways, they also go on to say the latest report from British Mint appears to be bucking the trend of slowing sales among significant mints, right? And then they're talking about this. The U.S. Mint sold 315,000 ounces of gold during the second quarter, down 26% from the first quarter. U.S. Mint saw demand drop sharply in June as it sold 52,000 ounces, according to the Mint's revised data. That's very low, right? Remember this. Let me put some context in there. They only sold 52,000 ounces of silver in June. They sold 5,000,000 ounces of silver in January. Do you see what I'm saying? 5 million ounces in January, and then 6 months later, only 52,000 ounces in a 31-day period. The Perth Mint sold 244,000 ounces of gold second quarter, and then where is it? Okay, they only talk about gold. I do have the Perth Mint's numbers, but that's in a separate article and a separate video I made. But the Perth Mint more than doubled their sales of silver as well. And that's just basically with like kookaburras and koalas. So as American Eagles were the most beloved, world recognizable coin that has the highest demand always, to now be, having these types of sales, only 52,000 ounces were sold in June this year. That is disgusting. That's insane. Now, yes, the mints, like the U.S. Mint and the Perth Mint, obviously, they pulled those types of numbers in January, the beginning of the year, the first quarter. So obviously, you're going to see sales decline to some extent because that's such a high bar to stay up with. So it was only natural. But the confusing part of this is that it looks like nobody bought Britannia's or really bought from the British Royal Mint in the beginning of the year, and now everybody is. Where the U.S. Mint and the Perth Mint, it's the exact opposite. Exact opposite. So it seems like everyone was buying those types of coins and then realized premiums are too high, wanted to go to a more profitable, more cheap alternative, and now go to this within a 6-month period, though. I mean, if it was a year and I saw sales jump, I mean, and we saw like this kind of all unfold, and we had more information and more articles covering it over the year, it would make sense, but I just don't know. So I'm going to pass the question to you. Is the U.S. Mint essentially canceling themselves, and they're kind of becoming this third-party mint that no one really wants to do anything with because their coins are way too overpriced and you're getting ripped off? What do you think? I mean, we saw as high as 61% premiums on some of the most popular bullion sites. 61% premiums. And that's ridiculous because these coins shouldn't be sold for anything more than $1 or $2 over spot like they were pre-2020. So yeah, I'm going to pass the question to you. If you thought this video was educational, informational, at least entertaining, make sure to hit the like button. I post daily videos every single day giving you the newest, latest, freshest, most up-to-date, recent information in the world of precious metals. I do giveaways, I do unboxings, I do silver stacking strategies, I do everything. So if you want an opportunity to get some of that content here, please do. If you want to subscribe, I'll now ask you to, since you actually see what I can offer. I'm never going to ask you to subscribe in the beginning of the video because I haven't given you any content yet. You don't know if you want to subscribe. Why would I ask you to subscribe the first 10 seconds of a video from someone you just found? You don't even know if you like the video yet, so why would I ask you to like it? You don't even know if you want to subscribe. So if you like what I have to offer, then please do. I'll be doing another giveaway probably in a couple of months, probably when I get closer to 60,000 subscribers. We'll do something like that. It will be a big one though, so stay tuned. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.